This economy is so tough that I have been looking for all the hacks that I can possibly find in order to find the best deals that I can on different kinds of groceries. And one of the biggest things that I personally have been seeing everybody recommend is to go to my local Asian store. Now, I will say that H Mart is probably a very well-known Asian store. However, I can say that H Mart definitely had some really good deals, and I personally think that they are a really good choice if you're really on a budget and you need to stretch your dollar as much as you can. I have been craving so many different kinds of fruits lately. I don't know if that's just me or like that's just something that happens when you turn into like an actual adult, but let me know if you have suddenly started craving different kinds of fruits and veggies, because one of the biggest things that I have personally been craving is just like a really, really crunchy and sweet apple. And all the apples around me have been so expensive. It's actually kind of ludicrous. Like, I'm talking like $4 or $5 a pound kind of expensive. And I went into the H Mart and they were selling them for $1.48 a pound, and they had all different kinds of apples too, like Pink Lady apples, Granny Smith apples, golden apples, Red Delicious apples, any kind of apple you can think of. They were all on sale for $1.48. The ordinary price was also not too bad. It ranged from like $1.98 to $2.48. So totally a much better deal than I would have gotten at like a comparable grocery store. I remember seeing apples on sale at my local Safeway, and it was like $2.99 on sale. I was like, this is crazy. Like, I haven't had an apple in so long, and I enjoyed those apples. Let me know down below what your favorite kind of fruit is. My favorite kind of fruit actually isn't an apple, but it's pretty closely related to the apple family. I don't know if they're actually related, but they're kind of comparable. My favorite kind of fruit is a fresh, crunchy pear, specifically a Bartlett pear, but I do like other pear varieties too. The crunchiness and the crispiness just gets to me, and I just love it so much. I actually have really fond memories of going to different kinds of Asian stores from when I was very young, because my parents actually took us to get groceries from different kinds of Asian stores all the time when we were young, and I just enjoy it so much. All of these different kinds of fruits and vegetables that you're seeing right now in the shot is stuff that I basically grew up on. So it's kind of funny. I'm going back to my roots as a child and going back to different kinds of fruits and vegetables that my parents were always trying to force me to eat and that I wouldn't like back then, and now I'm just like craving them. I think it's like nostalgia more than anything, but honestly I don't mind, because they are really, really healthy for you and really, really good for you too. I also did pick up a pack of tofu that was on sale. I really love tofu. Tofu is so nutritious for you, very high protein, has a lot of really good fats, and it's just so easy to cook. You can even eat it out of the package straight up if you want. I have done that a couple of times. I've also made silken tofu pudding, which is also very, very good. Another thing that I have seen all over the internet is to use different kinds of seaweed and seaweed products, including furikake. I haven't gotten furikake yet, so let me know in the comments below if that is pretty good and if it is what your favorite brand of furikake is, because I was looking at them in H Mart as well as a Japanese store that I went to on this day. Also, stay tuned for that video, and I'm not sure which one to get. But anyway, going back to my original point, I also picked up a packet of seaweed, and I have to say that seaweed is so good, especially on some warm rice. Getting it just adds so much flavor to the rice, and I really like eating rice with just some egg, maybe a little bit of like hot sauce or chili oil. I like Indian pickles too, in particular achara, a little bit of like egg or something to go with it. Seaweed and rice has become my new comfort meal. It is so delicious. Of course, every time I go to an Asian market, I have to check out all of their different sweets and snacks and stuff, and H Mart did not disappoint. They had so many different kinds of snacks and stuff, and a lot of it was actually on sale. I didn't record it this time around, but I actually found Hello Kitty mochi in green tea flavor as well as red bean flavor on sale for 98 cents for a pack of 8 of them, and they were just so good. I only bought one packet of each, and I'm kind of disappointed in myself. I wish that I had gotten more, because that mochi was so delicious. I'm like salivating over just thinking back on the taste. The green tea in particular was literally my favorite. I have become a recent lover of like matcha and green tea. I really think that my taste buds are like going through a metamorphosis or something, because like I used to never enjoy any of those kinds of things. Well, actually that's not true. I've always loved green tea, but I've never really liked matcha. It always felt a little bit like dirt, but recently I've been trying out matcha latte recipes that I've been seeing online, and they are just so good that I've like started actually enjoying matcha lattes, which I never thought that I would be that kind of person, and I'm really glad that I am nowadays. So I got the Hello Kitty mochi from like H Mart for 98 cents, and it was such a good deal. Plus they were so good. I really regret not getting more than one packet of each flavor. I wish that I had, but at the same time I'm really glad that I haven't, because that is something that I have been actively working on recently. Just like being more mindful of the stuff that I'm purchasing and making sure that I'm not buying too much of anything, because that has been like such a bad habit of mine. Like whenever I see a deal, I'm like tempted to buy too much of it, and then it's like it's not a deal if you don't actually eat everything that you buy and you like end up throwing out more than half of it. That's like actually negative towards like your own like money, as well as just like the environment. And there are so many people who can't afford food right now that I feel so bad. So I am glad that I practiced mindfulness and didn't get too much, but at the same time, I wish that I had gotten like one more packet of each, because they were just so good. I really like seeing those like turtle chips and stuff too. They're so crunchy. I like the crunchiest chips that I have ever had, more than like any Doritos or Tostitos, whatever, American chips. They're just so good. And of course, whenever you go to the H Mart, you have to check out the like different kinds of hot food items that they have at their deli. You just have to. Now, this H Mart in particular has sales going on in all of their food after 6 p.m. and I had gone just like a couple hours before 6 p.m. Luckily, nothing was like standing out too much for me though, so I wasn't that interested in anything. I was just kind of perusing around. I've never really had too many things from H Mart. The one thing that I have had that I really enjoyed was their tteokbokki. Tteokbokki is like a Korean rice cake, I believe, and H Mart has such a good like flavorful version of that. I always get the big, like the large tub. I think it's like 32 ounces or something, and then what I do is I melt some cheese on top, and it doesn't reheat that well unless you add some more water and just like boil it in the microwave for like 5 or so minutes, and then it gets soft again. But it is just so delicious. Plus the sauce is like that perfect balance of sweet and spicy also, so I really like getting that. And there's like meal planning for a couple of days around that, and then the excess sauce that I always end up with I use with rice, and it's just so delicious. So hot tip for anybody who wants to try out the H Mart hot bar, because that is just really delicious, and it's really nutritious too, because they put in like fish cakes, they put in like eggs, and you can add tofu and you can jazz it up, add veggies, and do so many things, and you can basically make a really good bunch of meals out of something that you got on sale, which I am always all for. Have any of you ever tried quail eggs? Because I'm wondering if I should maybe go and pick up a can of that. I read like the nutrition facts on that can, and it is really high in sodium, but it had a couple other good macros, so I'm like, maybe it's not that bad, especially because canned food tends to last a little bit longer, and I can never get through a dozen eggs or anything like that. I love H Mart that in their like frozen foods. Their frozen foods have so many different interesting, unique combinations, and I really would not have been able to try out so many different flavors of stuff and like expand my palate if it wasn't for the frozen part of H Mart. So I am forever grateful for them to just stocking all of this kind of stuff so that I can try it out. That is all for today. Recommend to me your favorite kinds of Asian stores in the comments below. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.